Hey guys, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at a classic farming simulator map called Farming Legend, or at least that is the current name for this map. This map is the map, and well, I'm a little not quite sure on this, but this map was for Farm Sim 2011. But what I'm not sure on is if this was the base map for Farm Sim 2011 or if this was a expansion map. But I do know that this map was out for Farm Sim 2011. This map also has an interesting little bit of not so much history, but let's just say that after playing Churn Farms for over 100 hours on my 24-day play series, when I saw the PDA of this map, it looked shockingly familiar, and then I realized that the roads looked as if they were laid out almost identical to Churn Farm. And as it turns out, Churn Farm was based on this particular map. So if we look at the PDA here, this road layout is basically the Churn Farm road layout. The fields are laid out a bit different. Certain things are obviously not in the same spaces, but it turns out in talking with CCS 101, who is the guy that basically did the conversion of Churn Farm from 20. I guess he did the conversion in 2015, and then also brought it forward to 2017. That basically Churn Farm, the original Churn Farm, which was for 2011, was based on this map. And this map was heavily modified to produce that map. So that would explain why this map looks incredibly like Churn Farm. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was really nice. But here we are. So this is a fairly basic and fairly open map. Not a lot of stuff going on as far as decorations. Got these super low res edges going on here and over here. So, it's kind of odd looking. So we wouldn't have Farm Sim 17 hedges, but to some degree I get it because this is a classic Farm Sim map. And I guess to some degree, some of the stuff he's wanting to hold, or the map author is, or editor, is wanting to hold true to the Farm Sim heritage of 2011. So all of our starting equipment is basically right here. Now we're going to look at that here in a minute, but it's basically all lined up. I assume that's how things were with 2011. This is your reset point right here. And we got a seeder and a cultivator here already lined up. So let's take a look at the map itself. So we have our standard crop types on the map. And we own fields 2 and 31. And that is it. So we only own 2 fields, and there are 2 smaller fields on the map. So with seasons, you're gonna find yourself bored pretty darn quick. Just 2 fields to work. So I would suggest cheating in some fields as far as field ownership. And for seasons play, I would say, owning fields 1 through 12 would probably be a good start. Or owning fields 1, 2, 31, 30, 22, 26, and 27. This group of fields would probably be a good basis to start with. We do this video in hard mode, so we don't have any crops in the silo to begin with. Of course, if you play on a different difficulty level, then you probably will have crops. So we have 3 main sell points on this map for all of our crops. We have, of course, sell point for wool and wood chips, and that is good. And silage, hay, straw, and grass, and slurry. Oh, look, some of this equipment has some pretty high hours on it. So we have to kind of pay attention from the start. So some of this equipment, like our harvester and our tractor and our tipper, we may be best served to try to get rid of that as soon as possible, simply to minimize our daily maintenance costs. We don't lease anything, let's go ahead and take out a loan so that we can go ahead and buy up some animals as we walk around the map. Or just drive around the map. And we have all three animal types on this map: sheep, pigs, and cows. Nothing in the animal troughs. And our silo has a capacity of 100,000 liters. Let's take a look at that starting fleet. It's pretty small. Got the Dudes Far tractor, and look, it's got 30 hours on it so far. We got the 1660 harvester with 34 hours. Grain header, again, 34 hours. Tippers, pretty heavily used at 27.5 hours. And then we have the small Porsche cultivator and the ever so popular Vanderstand seeder. And our handy dandy pick 'em up truck. So that's just our starting fleet. We don't have a lot going on there. And lease up our gator. And let's reset it and watch what happens. Dropped in right there. There's our reset point. Let's go ahead and take a look at the farm. It's pretty simple. We have, of course, our farmhouse right there. And let's go over here. This is our hay, straw, and grass sell point. Really like this. Wish there was a way to do this on Farm Sim 17, where you could unload your bales right here. It would be cool if you could like use the auto, the in-game bale trailer. Show you this. It'd be really neat if you could use, let's say, this bale trailer, and you come back here and you tip it, and you unload it right here in front of this thing. It'd be really cool if this would grab the bale, and an animation would send it up here, and then basically sell it at the top. That would be awesome. Don't know if it happens, but that would be absolutely awesome if it does. Got here trigger. Here's our fertilizer. We have our chickens here on this side of the fence, side of the barn. We have a large storage barn over here for our equipment. In front of the chickens. There. And we've got our silo. We don't have much going on here at the farm. Got seed down there. So we've got our fertilizer behind us, and we got our seed there. We've got this storage shelter. We've got a water tower, and here is our silo system. So what I've learned also is I've been getting a little bit of Farm Sim history lessons as of late. As of Farm Sim, all the way up through Farm Sim 15. I think 17 actually. I think Farm Sim 17 was the first time. Farm Sim 15 was the first time that you could get multiple crops out of a single spout. Okay? And in Farm Sim 15, if you had a map that had multiple crops, that had additional crop, you basically would have to have a separate spout for each additional crop because you couldn't get it out of the universal spout. So what I've learned is Farm Sim 17 is the first Farm Sim game where you basically have a universal spout that will dispense any of your crops. So true to Farm Sim 11 heritage, we have here 3 bins. We've got wheat, barley, corn, and I'm not really sure what the heck that is. That might be canola. That's to represent. But in theory, with Farm Sim 11, you would have to dump. You'd have to come up here and get your wheat, here to get your barley. We'll pretend that's canola. Get your canola, and to get your corn. So what we've got here is that, can we move? So what we've got here for this map is we've got the old bins here, assuming these are from 11. I didn't play Farm Sim 11, so I don't really know. but I did just get a little bit of history lesson on that. So this particular spout is our universal spout. This is where we're going to come to get all of our grain out. And of course, here's our dump to put our grain in. We've got our sheep, we've got our sheep over here. Let's go ahead and buy us up some sheepy sheeps. It's our wool spawn point. And here's our buy a sheep. There's our wonderful, wonderful sheeps. And we've got our water trough and our grass trough. And while we're here, we might as well walk over here to the pig farm, which is not too terrible far to go. While we're over here, the vehicle shop is over here and the animal dealer is over here as well. So lots of the stuff is pretty close by. Here's your repair and sell trigger, shop trigger. And your animal dealer here. Buy your animals in bulk. And then we've got our pig spot. And this is kind of an odd spot for pigs. If I'm correct, pigs were not in the Farm Sim 11. If I'm correct, I might be wrong with that. Here we go. We got our slurry. We got our manure pit. And here's where we're going to buy our pigs. The reason I think this is kind of an odd spot to have our pigs is because we've got these houses right here. And anyone that's ever been around pigs knows that they are the smelliest little things ever. Manure and slurry are absolutely rancid. So I would really feel sorry for these people that live here. We've got our food trough. The pig. We got our water trough, and that's pretty much all you need for your piggies. I guess your straw here is going to be, whoopsie, here's your straw trigger. This is where you're going to blow your straw in for their bedding. And over here at the pigs, we've got another shelter, which is handy. Because we do have so many of these buildings. I wish these buildings right here would open up. Now this here appears to be it's not numbered. Assuming we may be able to work that field. This map is seasons prepared. So you can play this map with seasons. That means that you will have a lot of snow, possibly. And you will have bale rotting, straw rotting, should it be left out in the rain. Oh, and there's also a shed over there. Sheep area. So while we're playing with our animals, let's go ahead and just make our way over to the cows. And then do our map tour from there. So other than the fields being different, roads really are very similar to Churn Farm, which is what I have the most basis of playing. But I encourage you, if you have not checked out Churn Farm, I'll put a link, kind of a pop-up deal in the video to my video on Churn Farm, and so I'll try to remember to do that. But here we are. This is our cow area. We've got our water tower here. Got pretty standard Farm Sim 17 stuff going on here. By our cows. Got our manure and liquid slurry pits over here, and our grass trough. Our moose. Let's see if we can leap the cow, leap the cow. Got our silage trough, and there's our water trough over here. And do one more leap the cow, leap the cow. There's the water trough. So other than really wishing that there were more trees on this map, it's a pretty nice map. I'm a little biased because I like the road layout. Got our silage pit. Alright. So with that, we're going to do our little tour. We're going to start here, work our way around the map. It's not going to take too terrible long because there's not a lot going on here. So we got several small fields over here. Let's go ahead and check out the prices of these. Field 4 is a half an acre, or half a hectare, and is $41,000. There are emissions, as you saw. It is 0.56, $45,000. Another large vehicle shed up here. Several other fields of similar size. We won't check them all. We know that there are now emissions on fields. Alright. First area note is going to be down the road here a wee bit. Got your fields, just several fields laid out. Here they could probably be plowed together. Since we do have a gravel texture there, it's not a placed texture like a placed road, which would prohibit you from obviously plowing that up. So here we've got a dairy. Now this is not a functional dairy. There is no milk trigger here. But if you did want to play in that way, you could put a placeable milk trigger down. Right. So now on this side, well, we're kind of getting into the larger fields over here. And we're going to come over here and we're going to take a bridge, this bridge here. Now on Churn Farms, this bridge goes over to the sheep and the pigs. But over here on Farming Legend, this bridge takes us over to the sawmill. Alright, so here we have two triggers for selling our logs. We've got that one there, and then this one for off the crane. And then we have our wood chip sell point right here. Looking at the large expanse of field 28. Got our BGA over there. So, you can see what I mean here about the lack of trees. Well, if there's significantly more trees here. We're going to go ahead and move up here just to check out this up here. It looks to be some type of maze, hedge maze. A tree in the middle. It's pretty cool. You could run in here and try to play the maze. Oops. It's a pretty interesting thing I haven't seen on a map. I don't know if this was Stuck. Cheat. Oh, look, I found it. I got to the middle, guys. That's awesome. All right, let's come on. Let's get out of here. Pretty neat. Got a beach here. That's a massive field of potatoes. That's going to bring in a big old revenue stream. Should we harvest that off of a mission? Now let's make our way around the road here and head on over there to the BGA. So up here on this hill, it's kind of a tram. It goes up to an observation tower or observation point on top of the mountain there, and it would be cool. You could obviously ride that up the mountain as opposed to driving up it or climbing it. Alright, so let's make our way. Oh no. Ran into the curb. Alright, here we are at the BGA, and this is, again, fairly standard Farm Sim 17 fare here. We've got our digestate tank, we've got our 5 silage bunkers, and we've got our Silo King. Nothing to see here. Nothing of any importance, or well, I wouldn't say importance, but of uniqueness. Now we're wrapping around to the big fields on the map. And we've got our sell point here with a dump spot around back, recessed in. Then we've got kind of the dock, not the dock, but the ocean here off to the side. I like the touch there with the cannons. That's pretty neat. But we will be making our way over to the dock. See it off in the distance there. Let's take a look and see which field we think is the biggest. I have to say, I think field 20 is hands down the biggest field on the map. So let's go ahead and check out its maps or field size. So field 20 is 11.5 hectares, $993,000. And the field can be yours. There's a lighthouse that I've grown so fond of over at Churn Valley, Churn Farm. We've got a castle up there. For my taste, the fields are just way too flat and way too uniform as far as being square. Another large vehicle shed here, and a sell point for grain. Go. And then we have our wool sell point right here. The wool is along the side here. There's your wool. And there's your liquid slurry sell point. Then we have one more final grain sell point over here. Big high grain granary. There we go. Got a nice water here, and a nice. It's a little lake, maybe. The tower kind of structure there in the middle. Kind of surprised there isn't a waterfall over there. Waterfalls seem to have been popular at some point in farm sim maps, that pretty much every map had a waterfall, as I understand. And we got a diving platform. Okay. Up it. Looks like we are able. All right, ready? We're on a cannonball off the top. Here we go. Whoa! All right, that's into the. Didn't quite make the splash I was hoping for. All right, now that we've been refreshed, let's just mosey on with our tour. That's about it. Quite frankly, there's not a lot going on as far as this map goes. As far as sell points and interactive elements, pretty standard. We got our base farm here with sheep and pigs close by. Got our cows across the river there, and then it's just a bunch of fields and some sell points. Not too terrible many sell points, just a few. And a fair number of fields. Did I tell you how many? There's 28 fields on this map. Oh, we own field 28. I didn't even notice that earlier. Sorry guys, we also own field 28. So we own fields 2, 31, and 28. There's that small grass field. Oh no, it's not grass. We looked at that and it's dirt. So it's a pretty simple map. I really wanted to bring this to you for two reasons. One, because it's a classic, from what I understand, Farm Sim 11 map, and two, because of my love for churn farms, and this map is basically the basis or the backbone of churn farms. Has been the Farm Sim 11 version of this map. Just wanted to show this map. Other than that pedigree, this map doesn't really have a super buttload going for it. Other than maybe some people reminiscing and remembering their wonderful, fun Farm Sim 11 content. I do wish it had a bit more in the way of decorative items, a bit more trees going on. No, didn't have just pretty standard poster board or postage stamp square fields. See lay of some of the map over here. See, most of the fields are pretty darn square. That's how we get off the hill. There we go. So let's go ahead and go up here to this observation tower, just for fun. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. I know it's a little bit short, but again, there's not a lot going on the map, other than maybe looking at every single field. Already hit all the highlights as far as the sell points and the main farm and the 3 animal areas. If you liked the video, please consider clicking like. If you don't like the video, please consider clicking dislike. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other, because you know what, a view's a view, and that's all fine and dandy with me. If you want additional updates on additional content that I put out, please consider subscribing. That way you can get alerts as to when new content becomes available. We'll do map videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I have been kind of saying for the last few weeks that I do reserve the right to skip a week, or not only skip a week, but skip a day, or more, depending on if I feel that there is lacking map content that is worth being brought into the channel. So a Tuesday or a Thursday may go by where no content or no maps are done. That is simply because I made the determination that I don't think that there's a quality map out there to do. So I didn't bring you a non-quality map. But here we are. We're at the highest point on the map. Really just overlook the entire thing. Be cool if we could get that bridge over there, but that's definitely part of the boundary background. So I want to encourage you to check out the guys in my description also. They are 3 Dudes Media members. And speaking of 3 Dudes, I encourage you to check out the 3 Dudes website, linked in my description, as well as the PCSG website. So let me know in the comments, did you all play this map in 2011? I'm interested to know, was this the base 2011 map, or was this a map that was added during an expansion or additional content? Let me know what you thought of this map in 2011, and what do you think of this map in 2017? Is this a fair representation of how the map was in 2011? And if you want to, go ahead and leave a comment on what you think about Churn Farms, since I brought it up, and since I really feel that the 2 maps have common lineage, but they are in no way comparable to each other. I think Churn Farms is a much better iteration of this footprint, to say. There are a lot of differences with respect to fields, a lot of differences with respect to where things are laid out, but the roads are nearly identical between the 2 maps. So with that, I'm going to bid you guys a fond farewell. Until next time, happy farming.